Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Senator Samson Cherargei is charging Kalenjin farmers up in arms against Moses Kuria. And in this video, I will look at what exactly is at stake as the country gears up to import GMO in the country, GMO maize in the country. Before we look at Senator Samson Cherargei's statement, I think I need to acquaint you with some very interesting facts here. Waziri Moses Kuria is making very scaring statement as far as the GMO is concerned. And it's very disheartening for a cabinet secretary to come out in public to say that they want to import maize, knowing very well that it could pose some health risks to the population. But he's saying there are many things that are killing Kenyans. And so the issue of GMO is just going to be added into a list of 1,000 ways to die in Kenya. I want you to listen to Moses Kuria's statement.
As a government of Kenya, we cannot hide our heads in the sand anymore. We have taken two deliberate steps. One is that we have so many things that can kill us in this country. Being in this country, you are a candidate for death. And because there's so many things competing for death, there's nothing wrong with adding GMO to that list. That is why we have deliberately decided to allow GMOs into this country. And the second thing is, until we are satisfied that we have enough maize in this country, our staple food, tomorrow I'm signing a gazette notice to allow for importation of up to 10 million bags of maize, duty-free, for the next 6 months until we achieve food security.
Yebo, haya, angalia the shelf here. Koja. Haya. Umeona tofauti?
Tofauti kubwa sana.
Tofauti.
Ni kubwa sana.
Haya, look at this. Organic shelf, angalia. Organic empty. Miaka kamoja. This one, haka. Haya, ile kile GMO. Hiyo ndio GMO. Mnataka kula GMO? Ndio hii hapa. Haya, angalia, walani wanayapa GMO. Angalia. Organic ndio hiyo. Ile mbegu mnataka kuua.
Na ile imebaki tu.
Na ile imebaki ndio hiyo.
Kaka kidonda hivi.
Ile imebaki.
Na tuwezi bagenia hii, sasa tutaiacha.
Hiyo mchanga ya GMO hiyo, endeleeni mtajua.
So that is your cabinet secretary in charge of trade and industrialization. And am I the only one who's getting confused a bit here? Because the person that is supposed to be talking about the GMO, I think, is the agriculture CS, Mithika Linturi. But Mithika Linturi is not talking about it. I don't know how Moses Kuria is coming through on this issue of importing maize, because I think it should fall under the agriculture docket. Maybe we will come to know. That is Moses Kuria igniting a heated conversation amongst Kenyans that we are going to import 10 million bags of GMO, genetically modified maize, from America to the country, and whether they pose some health risks to the population or not, that seems not to care. And maybe let's look at what is in the market. Kenya produces annually between 40 to 50 million bags of maize. And so yearly our annual deficit, or the gap, is normally between 10 to 15 million. So that is what they want maybe to cover. And Senator Samson Cherargei is giving it a very interesting twist. He's saying this, responding to Moses Kuria, says Moses Kuria at his usual element, but our Rift Valley farmers are currently harvesting maize. The importation of maize should stop until government has mopped up all this year's crop and avoid lowering prices that doesn't match the inputs incurred by the maize farmers. For once, I want to support Senator Cherargei. I think he is making a lot of sense. We understand true that we have food shortage. We are insecure in terms of food. And we have been importing maize. By the way, we import maize from Uganda and Tanzania. Majority, I think a bigger percentage of that import to me is actually GMO. They just import it in their country, they store it, and they sell it to us. I don't think they have really some very magic that makes them produce a big percentage. But of course, that's also subject to your criticism. So Senator Cherargei is saying that we want to import bags of maize, 10 million bags of maize, to flood it into the market. Currently, the farmers are harvesting. So most of these farmers are actually from the Rift Valley, where Samson Cherargei comes from. And when you bring the GMOs, most likely it's going to be sold at a lesser, or rather a cheaper price. It is to the benefit of the Wanjiku, who wants the cost of living to be lowered. But at the other end, it will hurt the maize farmer, because ye akitoa mahindi yake shambani, injecting it into the maize supply chain system, injecting it into the supply chain, it's going to meet the market price of the new imports. And so most likely, the farmer is going at a loss, because itabidi auze at the standardized market price that shall have been controlled by the GMO imports. So Kalenjin farmers are saying to William Ruto that kindly stop the GMO import now. Let's have what we have, see what we have, then from there, from what we have, you can then do the surplus. Moses Kuria has also said in that statement that, look here guys, we don't have enough, and they have made their projection from whatever is coming from the farms, and what they have realized is that it's not going to be enough. Of course, we've also had our problems. Government is shifting goalposts one after the other. GMO was actually introduced, and they lifted the ban with an intention that it was coming it is an intervention to reduce food insecurity by allowing importers to import the maize from the foreign countries and supplement what we are producing locally. But it also comes at some risk. What the coincidence in all this is, President Ruto met with the Microsoft founder Bill Gates, and in part of what has come out, I think Bill Gates have made a statement talking about how everything they consume is GMO. Everything they consume, and that's what he's saying, that everything he consumes is GMO. So, is it a coincidence that as Bill Gates was after meeting President, this statement is coming? I am persuaded to think that maybe from that meeting between President Ruto and Bill, he succumbed to the pressure for him to allow, or rather to use that as an intervention. And if that would be, then it would expose how William Ruto is gullible to the foreign powers. It is true, of course, we appreciate the over 874 billion that bill is going to inject in our humanitarian sector, in non-governmental sector. It's, of course, that is something that we really applaud. But did it come with a package of making sure that GMOs come? In my understanding, we need to tread carefully, because what Kenya might be seeing as a market as a food insecurity intervention could just be a market access move. Where simply, to them, we are giving the market, but to us, we are posturing that of the issue of food security. Is it going to solve our problem? I am so saddened by Moses Kuria that one of challenges that William Ruto is actually facing after lifting the GMO is allaying fears from the population that the move is going to cause some health hazards. Some people in this country, when they hear GMO, they think of cancer and other diseases. They think that this is now they're going to import us another form of the virus. That's what has been. So when you go to public and say that, okay, Atakama, there are many ways even it's going to kill people, I don't think you are even helping in creating the awareness, in the demand creation for the GMO. That's a wrong footage. Emmanuel Etamba is the coordinator of Root for Food organization, and I listened to his interview at Spice FM. He had some very interesting look at what exactly the risk that GMO will pose, and his point on this GMO. I want you to get that bit.
The ban was lifted so that we start getting GMO maize from the US, and within 2-3 weeks, you will see the GM maize coming here. And by the time our farmers start to grow those GM seeds they are talking about, which are not coming from here, when you talk about research institution, there is a big fallacy that these guys are making out there, that this research has been done by our local scientists. They put a Dr. Omondi and Dr. Kamau and Dr. Wafula and Dr. Nahumicha and they say, these are local scientists. They are the ones who have come up with GMOs. There is no local scientist in this country who has been involved in the development of these GM varieties. No one. I can tell you that for sure.
So, we are here. Today, since morning, I've checked the Biosafety Act, labeling regulations, the marketing regulations. I think we are so much, we are into it. We are safe in terms of regulations back home. But we have a problem with the implementation. Are we going to obey the Labeling Act, the labeling regulations? Are we going to follow the Biosafety Act? Are we going to, in terms of marketing regulations, are we going to do it so that we don't hurt the local farmers? If you ask me, I can tell you this. William Ruto is hurting the maize farmers from Kalenjin. Farmers are just harvesting maize. And the maize they're harvesting, they planted when fertilizer was at 7,000 to 8,000. So it's not the 3,000 one. But remember, we told people that we are going to reduce the price of unga, I think, in the next 2 or 3 months. So the fertilizer that we also subsidized, they were taken to the farmer, and then drought came. So because of the drought, and I mentioned, guys, that fertilizer is just one factor of production. There are other factors that are attached to it and the market forces that will not even allow the price of unga to go down. If anything, Kenyans seems to have gotten used to it. In fact, people are pursuing varieties instead of now sticking on the maize. So they should be allowed to recoup their costs first. That's what the farmers are saying, that allow us to recoup our costs so that tukitoa mahindi yetu tuuze at that price, tupate pesa yetu, then it comes, so that even if the subsequent farming, like this one they use subsidized fertilizer, it cannot catch up with the GMO pricing. It's a very reasonable point. What puzzles me, guys, is this. Kwani Moses Kuria and Cherargei, are they serving different governments? Cherargei is William Ruto's handman. Moses Kuria is a cabinet secretary working under William Ruto. So what about this confusion where there are two different positions on the same thing? Even though I've only seen Cherargei coming over to oppose it. And could this point out that William Ruto is just putting Moses Kuria into this, dragging him into this, then on the other end call Cherargei, charge the Cherargeis the other end, so that you can bring that animosity against Moses Kuria? Because it seems now Moses Kuria is the person being crucified. And the good senator should also tell us why president is quiet. Now, the cabinet is lacking coherence with the legislative wing. And this could point out to Kalenjin division gaining momentum. We've said that, of course, there are stories of division amongst these two sections. Ruto might have been highly convinced by the Microsoft founder about this. Maybe I can think. But is someone out to benefit from this importation? It looks rushed. It looks a highly guarded secret on how it's going to be done and everything. So who is going to import the maize? And is someone going to benefit? Why are we rushing with it? And okay, I think the question that Kenyans should know is, okay, so if we import the 10 bags of maize, it's supposed to take care of a deficit. Is it going to reduce the price of unga? I can tell you it's not going to. It's not going to. Ruto has realized the fertilizer subsidy intervention will not solve the problem. I keep on telling our viewers here, the dream of reducing the price of unga to a nearly 100 is far-fetched. It's far from reality. Even the subsidy, fertilizer subsidy, I think it's not an intervention enough that will be objectively, directly proportional to reducing the price of unga. I think we have so much obsession with it decreasing the price of unga. And that's why we seem to be making a lot of blunders. What's your take on let's bring GMO, even if it can kill us? But Kalenjin farmers are up in arms. Hatutaki hiyo. That's my bold.